Hi, my name is Jen Kay, and I'm an assistant professor at the University of Colorado. I live here in Boulder, Colorado. I moved here from Seattle, where I went to grad school, and I grew up in upstate New York. So science with me started at a young age. Both of my parents are scientists. My grandfather was a scientist. My great-grandfather was a scientist. So conversations at the Thanksgiving table in my family are a little different than in most. I love the outdoors. I always have. Growing up in upstate New York, I often went, for hikes in the fall colors and cross-country skiing. And I can't really imagine a world without snow. And I know that in a warmer world we'll have a lot less snow, and I really worry about the future of snow. Over my lifetime, I'm in my late 30s now, we've lost about half of the ice cover in the Arctic Ocean. People really get that climate change is happening there because they're seeing it with their own two eyes. They're seeing that Hudson Bay isn't frozen as much. They're seeing polar bears and a lot more polar bear incidents because there's kind of polar bears hanging out in town instead of being out on the sea ice hunting seals. So I think the perspective that you bring and kind of the way that you learn about climate change can be quite different. And here sometimes maybe it's a little bit more academic. We are at a university and some people are feeling it kind of more on the front lines as their climate and environment are changing right in front of them. I do a lot of volunteer work with an organization called Polar Bears International. And they engage classrooms all over the world to talk about polar bears and sea ice and climate change. And I was talking to this classroom and I was just thinking about what had happened and what we were talking about, and I just started crying. But it really was just kind of one of those moments that hit me pretty hard that they're the ones that are gonna feel the effects of climate change and they really have done nothing to create it. I often get asked what to do about climate change, and I think that that's a really, really hard question because it involves all of us on this planet. The first thing we need to do is just all kind of acknowledge that this is happening and that we need to do something about it. And then the question is, what do we do? I mean, at a local level, right, you can talk to your politicians, to your city planners, really trying to make sure that your community is being energy efficient and water efficient. I remain optimistic most days. I mean, some days I do get down about things, but when I am optimistic, it's mostly because I think about the ingenuity of the human race and how much we've been able to accomplish so far.